Welcome to another Sunday WOAY ABC4 Community Forum, where we talk to community leaders and local success stories to discuss important information that affects all of us here in Southern West Virginia. I'm your host, Brandy Lawrence, and today we're joined by more distinguished guests. Stephanie French, who is the Vice President of the Shade Tree Car Club, and Haley Joe, who is Miss Beckley Kids Classic, join us this morning. Thank you so much for coming to the forum.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to start us off, we're going to talk about, the Shade Tree Car Club and everything that you all do. But for the people out there that are unfamiliar, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what your mission is?
Well, Shade Tree Car Club is a nonprofit, and we have car shows and fundraisers to help local charities in our community.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Haley Joe?
I'm Miss Beckley Kids Classic, and I'm working here with Stephanie French as well as other nonprofit organizations.
Today we're here to talk specifically about the Snack Pack Drive, and which is, an initiative that you two are both passionate about. So can you tell us a little bit about what's behind that and what that entails?
Well, we have a lot of local schools in our area with a lot of children that do the free lunch. We have one school in particular that 80% of their students are on the free lunch program. So Shade Tree has partnered in order to provide snacks and snack packs for the kids on the weekends. You don't ever want to think this, that any child would ever go without, but they actually do. And, when it comes to the kids in your own community, it's heartbreaking. So we have formed this alliance with several other sponsors that we have, and we are going to do a big snack pack drive. And that way we know that the kids are fed on the weekends. The teachers will give them the snack packs, one child gets one per day. And then that way we know that they're going to get some kind of nutrition over the weekend.
That's wonderful, wonderful. And why was it so important for you, Haley Joe, to get involved with, an initiative like this?
Yes, ma'am. So the importance of these snack packs is a part of my platform on feeding children in our communities. It's so important to provide these because children go without food on weekends, holidays, and the summers when they are not at school. So by providing these snack packs, we're able to give them a bag for Saturday and a bag for Sunday, so they're able to have that nutrition.
Awesome, awesome. And from what I understand about this, from a little bit of research that I've done, this looks like a really easy way to get involved and to donate,
Yes.
as, just regular people. So can you tell us, the people out there that are watching right now, how they can participate in the Snack Pack Drive?
Well, we have formed with Logan's Steakhouse here in Beckley, and we also have brought together Wooden Nickel and Calvin's Broils, Dice Floral, and we are going to not only do it one night, but we're going to do it every Saturday night through January, all the way up into Valentine's Day. And that's kind of going to be the thing that's going to draw people in, because our sponsors have been so kind, and they are about the kids in the community as well. So what all you have to do is come into Logan Steakhouse from 5 to 9, and that's every Saturday night, and we'll be there.
Yes, ma'am.
And you give us 5 snack pack items, and you will get a free dessert or a free appetizer of your choosing, as long as you bring those 5 snack pack items. then that's not all. We are going to take your name, your telephone number, and your email address, and we're going to put it in a little box. And Wooden Nickel is going to give a wonderful ceramic coating for a car. Their ceramic coatings are amazing, from what you can take a car from and to, and it also has a 3-year warranty on it. So, and your vehicles look like glass. I had mine done. And Calvin Broils is going to donate a piece of jewelry.
Wow.
Yes. So that's a his and a her. Well, then Dice Floral, who's just celebrating their 100th year in business here in Beckley, they are donating a dozen roses. And then, of course, since we're going to be at Logan's, you get dinner for 2 for free. And all of this is for Valentine's Day.
Wow, that is a super great deal. And a super easy way to, get involved and do that. You bring your snack packs. Oh, also, I want to ask, are there any specific snacks you all are looking for?
Definitely nutrition. We want granola bars, canned things that kids like to eat, and anything that's non-perishable that these kids will like.
Awesome, awesome.
It has to be easy for them to maintain because their parents may not be home, or their parents may be paying attention to other siblings, things like that. So it needs to be kid friendly, like Chef Boyardee, cookies, crackers, things that kids just love. But we mostly want more nutritional things because when it comes to learning, a child who is hungry or starving, they do not have the capacity to learn. It's a proven statistic. So we want to make sure that these kids have enough to fuel their day and fuel their weeks.
Awesome. So it's every Saturday from 5 to 9.
Yes, 5 to 9.
All right, yeah, you guys get your snacks together and just come help out. Help the elementary school kids. It's more geared to elementary school kids. It's just a great, easy way, and it seems like a really fun, program to just help out, give back.
And we've done a snack pack drive before. We did a cruise in. We were overwhelmed with the community support. It was absolutely awesome. I mean, we went out of there with, I think it was like two truckloads.
It was so much. It was amazing.
And I mean, the community really pulls together. I mean, because, when you sit back and think about it, starving kids in your own community, there's a lot of children that just go without, and we should not allow that.
Definitely.
I feel that a lot of people too are unaware of this situation, and they're not noticing how these children need to be nourished, and they need to come together and work together and be able to provide for these children in need.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And like our families have changed so much. Groceries are extremely expensive. Just for a family of 4 for Christmas, I spent $244 just for Christmas dinner. So imagine your daily needs, and then imagine having to do extras like Christmas. So these kids, they just go overlooked. And there's so many families now that we actually call them grand families instead of a normal family, like a single family. Because in today's society and in the area that we're in, unfortunately drugs and crime have really taken over. And you may have a parent that's incarcerated, or you may have a parent that suffers from substance abuse disorder, and they're not home. So the grandparents are now taking care of the grandchildren. And I have some families that there's even grandchildren the grandparents are taking care of. Well, these grandparents are going on Social Security, they're going on their retirement, so this is considered a fixed income. And with rising prices, I can't fathom a world where you would rather feed your child fast food because it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. Kids need nutrition like fruits and vegetables, and when you have one bag of carrots that costs $3.99, when you can take 2 of your children for just a few dollars more and feed them a full meal at a restaurant or fast food is what usually happens. It doesn't have very good nutritional value, and we really need to form together because the saying is it takes a village. Well, this is the city of Beckley and this is Raleigh County. We need to make sure that all of our kids are nourished, they're ready to go for the day. Because we have to break a demographic. We have to break the circles. We want these kids to go to college. We want them to be productive citizens. We want them to be like, hey, I'm famous and I'm from West Virginia. But, it's just a daunting problem that seems to exist. And it seems like the higher the economy goes, the worse these kids are benefiting from it. And that's not really a benefit if you think about it.
Definitely not, yeah. But it's really awesome that, you all are so dedicated to this. And as you said, it does take a village. And you see so many organizations, especially working in news, that are really trying to help, like you all are really trying to help with this, overwhelming issue of hunger. And just thank you guys so much, just on behalf of all of us here in West Virginia. So, how did, I think you said a lot of your partners involved in this, they are just very supportive of, the cause and things. So did you come to them, or did they kind of come to you all to get involved, or?
Well, I started out talking to Jamel at Logan's. It started out as something kind of small, and then I talked to my friends at Wood and Nickel. They're not only friends, but they're mentors of mine. I look up to them. And I'm like, hey, I want to do this. Can you donate a ceramic coat like you did through the season? And they're like, well, yeah. So then we all get down, we start talking, and it's like, well, we really want this to be a big thing, a big deal. We want to, haul truckloads of food to these children. And so we all come together, like you're supposed to, and we united, and now, look at us now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I see that will be a really awesome cause for them to, get involved with, but this is also just sounds like a really fun way to, give back and help out. And you could get a lot out of it, just even if you don't win all that, you can get so much out of it, just being able to help the kids out.
Yeah, I mean, yes, only, a couple is going to win, but ultimately everybody's heart gets paid.
Definitely.
Because the children are being taken care of.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as Miss Beckley Kids Classic, you're also a student as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And to be so young and to be out here, wanting to give back to the kids, what does it mean to you to be able to use your platform to do that?
It's absolutely my passion to help these children. As Beckley Kids Classic, I've been able to see Beckley and the children in it, and it just makes me want to help everybody, especially the children, because I know that there are some out there that go without, and I just hope that by doing this, we're able to help that and fill that need and help those children.
Awesome, awesome. Spoken like a true queen. So.
This is my protege.
I look up to Stephanie
This will
so
be
much.
my future, shade tree president one day
Oh
when
my
I'm ready to retire.
I look up to her so much.
Aw.
She is my mentor. She's always doing something, and she's always helping the kids.
That's wonderful. And it's always so important to, be a mentor to, young people in the community. And I'm really glad that, you find somebody that you can look up to and
Absolutely.
do great work.
Oh, thank you. You thought of me like that.
Oh, of course.
So we're about a minute or so out, but before we go on to our first break, do you mind plugging the contact information for the Shade Tree Car Club?
Well, they can personally message me on Facebook, it's Stephanie French, or there's also Shade Tree Car Club. And if anyone has any questions, they can call me, and my telephone number is 803-546-5529.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you guys stay tuned. We're going to talk more about the Snack Pack Drive and the Shade Tree Club, and we're going to speak more with Miss Beckley Kids Classic about her platform and her upcoming competition in Charleston. So you guys stay with us. Welcome back to Sunday Community Forum. This week, I am here with Vice President of the Shade Tree Car Club, Stephanie French, and Haley Joe, who is Miss Beckley Kids Classic. And we are talking about the Snack Pack Drive that the Shade Tree Car Club is throwing, as well as Haley Joe and her, her pageantry and upcoming competition in Charleston. So I kind of want to touch on that, where you'll be competing and what that entails.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be competing at the Charleston Civic Center for the title of West Virginia Association of Fairs and Festival Queen. As Beckley Kids Classic, it's so important to me to go and represent to the best of my ability, and I'm looking forward to seeing all my friends and being able to have the experience.
That's wonderful, and I know they're all out there rooting for you. I'm sure they're so excited.
Yes, and I'll also be going with some of my friends, Miss Rhododendron and Miss Appalachian Festival.
Oh,
so I'm really
wonderful.
looking forward to that as well.
So it'll be like a whole royal, reunion, just all going down there. That'll be beautiful. So how did you get into doing pageants?
This is actually kind of a funny story. So my mom, she did them when she was younger, and I actually began to spark interest when I was about 13 years old. She's like, okay, we'll try it. So I did it, and I really just took off with it. And the most important part of it, of course, is the community service part of it. So I've always done community service. My mom's always had me involved with that, and she's amazing, always been there helping me with it. And I, of course, love the competition, but definitely the community service and helping your community is the biggest part and what I enjoy the most about that.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And how has been how has the work, actually the pageant school balance been for you?
It's definitely a lot, but it takes a lot of articulate planning and scheduling. So I've been able to go to school, then come home and practice. And with this competition coming up, it definitely takes a lot of my time, and being on the swim team, it takes a lot of dedication, and just being able to know what the outcome is and what I'm reaching for is definitely the biggest thing for me right now.
Well, that is awesome. That's awesome. You know, I'm sure you're very busy, it sounds like,
Yes.
but it's so awesome. And I'm sure everything is going to pay off for you. And
I sure hope so.
in addition to, being so dedicated to nutrition among children, you also are involved in Pretty in Pink, which provides prom dresses to, other young girls. How did you get started with that?
I got started with a couple girls in my church, and they have the organization. And what we do is we pick up dresses that people have used and they no longer want. So we take them in, and we're able to put them along with all the other dresses. We have hundreds of dresses to choose from. So whenever it comes prom season, we're able to give these girls a dress, shoes, accessories, small handbags, and they're able to leave out of there just fulfilled and able to have a great prom night.
That's beautiful. And I'm sure it makes those girls, very happy.
Absolutely. I love being able to help with that, and just the joy on those girls' faces is everything.
That's beautiful. And it's wonderful, you're so community minded and dedicated to, servicing your community. So we commend you for that.
Thank you.
And your mentor here as well.
Absolutely.
Who's also very community minded. How did you get involved with the Shade Tree Car Club?
Oh my goodness. I was just a little tiny thing. And of course it's known I'm Daddy's girl, so where Daddy went, I went. And he would go to car shows, and my dad, he is an all-around man. I mean, he can fix anything. And he would fix cars in the garage, and they would pull in and they would just look like this hunk of junk sitting there. And then when they would roll back out of the garage, it was like a brand new car. And, I started out with like a little Sharpie marker going around the cars, marking all little scratches and dents and pings. And before you know it, I was puttying and sanding and bonding and, rebuilding a car, and out the door and happy customer. It's like, and so I really got into it. And there's just something about the beautiful sleekness and the roar of the engine. And, if you have a car like mine, a 200-plus car, it's like you just get in and it's like there's just nobody else around. There's nobody on earth, and you just start switching those gears and hitting that clutch, and you just go. And that's like my freedom, I guess to say. And it's just something that I share with my father. So I know a lot of kids out there, they may have a strained relationship or something, but cars brought my dad and I together.
That's awesome.
So like a lot of the people now that show their cars, they literally watched me grow up since I was a little girl. And, and to hear how proud they are of me when they come to me and like, I cannot believe that you raised this much money, or you did this, and thank you for that. And it really shows with the public that comes out. We did a show for homeless veterans with the Beckley VA, and we had 200-plus cars. It was quite overwhelming. We were not prepared for over 200 cars. But, we did it. The Shade Tree gang pulled together. We knocked it out of the park. We were able to raise monetary funds, and we were also able to bring in, items that the homeless veterans need. And so that was a glorious day. I mean, I couldn't have been more pleased. And with all the charities we do, we've donated to Hospice House, to Jackie Withrow, Little Beaver State Park. We had a candlelight vigil for a fallen state trooper. I mean, wherever there's a need, if we are able, we go to the aid of it. Like our Beckley Babe Ruth. I mean, the first time in the history of Babe Ruth, we went to the World Series. Mr. Lieber calls me and says, "Hey, Steph, I heard you're the gal to talk to, that if I want some fundraising done and quickly, you're the one to do it." And I'm like, okay, so when do you need this money? He's like, "Oh, we're leaving Sunday." And I'm like, "Today's Tuesday." But hey, we pulled it off. We had close to 100 cars in Uptown Beckley. The city of Beckley joined us with that car show with Beckley City Events. I also sit on the city events and help, Jill Moorfield do many different things. And it seems like my little fingers are just stuck everywhere anymore. But that's what makes me feel good. Sometimes, when you're having a bad day or, the end of the world's coming, there's nothing like a smiling face to say, hey, that was awesome. And that's all I need.
That's wonderful, because I could tell, how passionate you are about cars and the community and helping out. So it seems like just the perfect storm for you. So
yeah, I guess I have made Shade Tree my platform of being able to give back to the community. And and we're a great group. We've got a wonderful president, secretary, treasurer. And my mom's standing over there. I'm trying to get her on screen, but she's fighting me. We have a wonderful group, and our patrons that come out, it's like every month we're like, well, hey, we're raising money for this, and we're raising money for that. And they're just so giving. It's truly unbelievable. We just did Toys for Tots at the Beckley Walmart, and the amount of patrons that came out to Walmart just to purchase toys for kids in our local community, it overjoyed my heart of how many came out just for us.
That's wonderful. And I think we've actually talked to them on Community Forum too, the Toys for Tots. And, they do really important work. And a lot of, the drives and the toys that they are able to donate, they come from a lot of people like you, that are over clubs and these other organizations that you're like, hey, we want to help out in our community. So it's really awesome that, you all decided to do that.
Yeah, that was our 5th year doing Toys for Tots. Awesome. We started out with John and Laura Stevens way back during COVID. And we planned a cruise from Shady High School down to Hinton and then up the back side of the mountain up into Coolridge. And, it was during COVID. So, but everyone remained in their car. There were only 3 of us running around outside. We were able to bring in toys. We were able to bring in money. And it was a wonderful fall ride. And so we just decided that we wanted to continue. We did such a good job with it. We're like, hey, we want to keep doing this. And so next year we plan on doing 2 Toys for Tots events.
Awesome.
So to make sure, we had 12,000 children within a few county radius that were in the need of toys. It's just not one county. Mm-hmm. One director takes care of several counties. And so Shade Tree is right in there of trying to help with kids in the community.
And I think a lot of times people don't realize just how big Raleigh County is. So that's a lot of, ground to cover. So it's really awesome. I think those 2 drives will really help out a lot. Yes. So, and while we were on break, we were talking a little bit about you were starting up the Shade Tree schedule. We're in a new year. So are there any little projects or anything that you are looking at right now that you maybe would want to plug?
Well, what we do, we have several charities that we always give to. We always raise funds for, like St. Jude's. Mm-hmm. But then it turns out to be, Stephanie puts her schedule out and Stephanie announces on Facebook, hey, I'm making my schedule. You want a show? Come talk to me. But then 3-4 months later, then Stephanie's trying to plug in more shows. We did one last year for the Black Lung Association in Princeton. We had a hoot of a time. We had food, we had entertainment, all these gorgeous cars came out right there on, Mercer, I think it's Mercer or Main in Princeton, and that was a lovely show. They've asked us to come back next year. The VA has asked us to come back. We are pretty much standing with Little Beaver State Park. Everybody forgets about Little Beaver unless you're a local. Yeah. And they get less than a lot of the other parks do in West Virginia. So we have not 1 car show, but 2 car shows for them, for their kids' projects that they do at Little Beaver. So it's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like you already have 2024 just started. It looks like you're already busy.
Yes, and it's like, finally, it's like January, no car shows. And then it's like, okay, these kids need to eat. They don't have enough. So guess what we're doing? A lot of people, they just think that, Shade Tree trailer pulls up, a bunch of cars pull up and that's it. It takes a lot. You have to talk to people. You have to get scheduling done, where it's going to be. You have to make sure your insurance is in place. Then there's the advertising, the marketing, getting people to come out, and then deciding which charity you're going to go with. we have, we used to scramble to look for things to do, but now we have people coming to us wanting us to help raise money for different events. And that makes us feel so good when people ask, because that makes us know that we're doing a difference in the community that actually matters. And people are noticing, hey, they're all about their community, because without our community, what is anybody?
Absolutely.
So it's very heartwarming that we have went from what we were to what we are now.
That's wonderful, both of you. That was really great that, you all are really trying to make, the Mountain State a better place, at least Raleigh County. I know it's we got a whole 55 counties, but, just anything helps. And the fact that, we have people here that really want to help, it's awesome. And like you said, it takes a village. So thank you guys so much.
And also there's blessing boxes as well. For more years than I can remember, I was the volunteer director for the Blessing Box Project here in Raleigh County. And when I took over the project, it was 5 boxes, and I put it up to 17 boxes. And I took care of those boxes until the past year, because now we have the Family Resource Center, and they needed that with their grant. So we gladly said, hey, here you go. This is what we've done. This is what we're doing. And, we have sponsors for every single box that is built. So, you just don't have to wait for a special event to donate, to feed people. You can go to any of the blessing boxes with the Family Resource Center, and you can fill them with anything that is non-perishable. Food, hygiene products. Right now would be a great time for like hand warmers, toboggans, scarves, gloves, a heavy coat. You can put these things in blessing boxes, and it will help the homeless and underprivileged in our area.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and thank you guys for joining us for Sunday Community Forum. Be sure to tune in next week where we talk to more established guests about what's going on here in Southern West Virginia.